song from a New York musical, based on the work of a Hungarian playwright, is an unlikely choice for a football chant. And yet, that actually is the origin of You'll Never Walk Alone. But, while it's sung by many fans today at different clubs, how did it become associated with Liverpool? Well, quickly, the origin story. At the start of the 20th century, Ferenc Molnár, a Hungarian author, journalist and playwright, produced Liliom, a play about a doomed love affair. It had two settings, a merry-go-round in Budapest and heaven, and, well, it wasn't a success. However, in 1945, the brilliant American songwriting duo, Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein, requested rights to base their latest musical, Carousel, on Molnár's original. For this new musical, one of the songs Rodgers and Hammerstein created was You'll Never Walk Alone. Lyrically, it's a reflection on hard times, death, human defiance and faith. Structurally, the song is slow and melancholy, but penned just as World War II was ending, it appears to have caught a mood. Neither aspect of the song suggested pop music or football terrace, but within 20 years, it had passed through the former and onto the latter. And the vehicle for this transition was the Liverpool band, Gerry and the Pacemakers. Gerry was Gerry Marsden, born in Toxteth, just to the south of Liverpool city centre in 1942. The band was signed by promoter Brian Epstein, whose other group, of course, were the Beatles. In 1963, Gerry and the Pacemakers released How Do You Do It, and it soared to #1 in the UK charts. They followed it with I Like It, which also got to #1, and the sound in Merseyside had taken off. Well, at Anfield, the PA system would play the top 10 in the charts as the countdown to kick-off. There is even famous footage of the cops swaying and singing the Beatles' She Loves You in 1964. Gerry and the Pacemakers now needed a third song for a hat-trick of #1s, and Marsden proposed You'll Never Walk Alone to Epstein and George Martin, the musical arranger for the band and for the Beatles. Speaking in 2001, Marsden explained, "I first heard Walk Alone around 1960 on a record. I liked it. I liked the presentation of the song. We put it in our show and we played rock and roll. Every time we did Carousel, the audience stopped and watched and clapped, and I thought, yeah, that's nice, that." Gerry and the Pacemakers released You'll Never Walk Alone in October '63, and the song stayed at #1 for a month. This gave the Anfield crowd time to get used to the song lyrically and melodically, and the sweeping power of an almost gospel tune embedded itself quickly. In another interview, Marsden said, "When it went out of the top 10, they took the song off the playlist, and then for the next match, the cop was shouting, 'Where's our song?' So they had to put it back on." The Pacemakers had added tempo to the opening bars via a gentle skipping drum beat from Gerry's brother, Freddie, though the Anfield crowd version remains closer to the slower original. By '65, a UK television commentator would describe You'll Never Walk Alone as Liverpool's signature song. Of course, its arrival chimed with the rise of not just Merseyside, but Liverpool under its charismatic agitator of manager, Bill Shankly. In the 63-64 season, the season of You'll Never Walk Alone, Liverpool won the league for the first time in 17 years. They won it again in '66, on top of an FA Cup triumph in '65. With Everton league champions in '63 and FA Cup winners in '66, the city, its music and its clubs were gaining a global profile. On tour in America in the summer of '64, Shankly's squad were invited on The Ed Sullivan Show, the biggest programme in the United States, to join the Pacemakers. It was Marsden's idea. "We got the whole team on stage and we sang Walk Alone on The Ed Sullivan Show," he recalled. Coming off, Shankly said to me, "Gerry, my son, I've given you a football team and you've given us a song. Praise got no higher." You'll Never Walk Alone was here to stay. As Liverpool developed into a European force in the '70s and early '80s, this was the constant soundtrack to their dominance. You'll Never Walk Alone had become a part of the club. And when Shankly died in 1981, Marsden sang a solo version of the song at his memorial. And when the Shankly Gates were erected a year later in tribute, the words You'll Never Walk Alone were incorporated in iron at the top. The song was always on at Anfield, and it would intermittently break out into the broader culture. BBC DJ John Peel, a Liverpool fanatic, his children's middle names included Anfield, Shankly and Dalgleish, would occasionally play the song as sung by the crowd and credit it to the Anfield Road Choral Society. Peel also played Aretha Franklin's live and deeply soulful version on his Monday show on April 17, 1989. Hillsborough had happened 2 days earlier, and You'll Never Walk Alone immediately took on a larger meaning for Liverpool fans and the families affected. The stoicism the song portrayed was then required for decades as the family sought and still seek justice. Margaret Aspinall of the Hillsborough Family Support Group said that You'll Never Walk Alone had become our prayer. It belongs to the families now. All the while, the song spread through football, to Celtic in Glasgow, to Feyenoord in Rotterdam, and among others to Germany, where it was adopted by 2 clubs, Mainz and Borussia Dortmund. This was a most happy coincidence for Jurgen Klopp, as they were his 2 previous clubs before joining Liverpool in 2015. In Germany, only 2 clubs sing You'll Never Walk Alone before the game, and that's Mainz and Dortmund. Now I've come to the original place if you want, and it never stops feeling special. It never stops creating goosebumps. That's how it is.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including David Ornstein, Daniel Taylor, Ollie Kay, Amy Lawrence and Rafa Honigstein. There are journalists dedicated to each Premier League team, and you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.